Fucking mall rats, bro. Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are jumping into r/TalesofNeckbeards. Yes, we are back to those beardy boys, the purest of neckbeard stories. We've got two rather interesting tales today, and as always, I cannot wait to share them with you. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump right into this thing. My neckbeard roommate became smitten with Zero Suit Samus. Smitten. I've been watching a lot of neckbeard stories on YouTube recently, specifically ReddX. Wow, thanks dude. And it inspired me to share my story. This is the story of a roommate I had in my senior year of college. He was randomly assigned to me. I did not choose to live with this man. I did not have good luck with college roommates. See my previous post, Kevin, my college roommate. This man, however, was no Kevin. He was an almighty neckbeard. I know many people give the neckbeards in their stories creative names, but I can't think of anything good, so I'll just call him Michael because, that was his name. He and I lived in a dorm apartment with two other people. We had 4 single rooms, so while I can say Michael was my roommate, he and I, luckily, didn't actually sleep in the same room. Thank God for small miracles. Michael was about 5'10" and fat. If I had to guess, I'd say he weighed maybe 250 pounds. He had short black hair, which he cut himself with a pair of clippers that he bought at Walmart. He did have a beard, but it wasn't really a neck beard. Michael's hygiene was fine, I guess. I have nothing really positive or negative to say about it. And I shaved my head too. It's the best way to cut costs. Michael spent most of his day in his room. He left our apartment to go to class or to get food, but besides that, he mostly stayed locked in his room. He spent almost all of his free time playing video games in his room, specifically WoW, Call of Duty, and Super Smash Bros., which I will discuss in a minute. He always wore the same outfit. Sweatpants, an anime or video game t-shirt, and grubby sneakers. I never saw him wear a fedora, unfortunately. Michael's diet consisted mainly of Monster Energy, Coca-Cola, Doritos, and fast food. He did enjoy Mountain Dew, because of course, but his main beverages were Monster and Coke. God, wearing sweatpants all the time? That's like the maximum level of not give a fuckery. Many neckbeards like to think of themselves as really smart, but Michael genuinely was very intelligent. He was studying electrical engineering and he had a high GPA too. I think it was around a 3.7 or a 3.8. Electrical engineering is generally considered the hardest discipline of engineering, which is already a very difficult field. He wouldn't be able to do well in a field such as that if he weren't legitimately smart. I rarely ever saw Michael do schoolwork though. I'm guessing he did it late at night when I was asleep. Well, smart guy, decent hygiene. Aside from his diet and lack of fashion, I'm not seeing too much wrong with this so far. The story that best captures Michael's neckbeardery, here we go, involved his interest in Super Smash Bros. All 4 of us like to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl together on Michael's Wii in our living room, but Michael was constantly asking us to play with him. You see, Michael was obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with Zero Suit Samus, ZSS for short. If you aren't familiar, Samus is the protagonist of Nintendo's Metroid series. She usually wears a suit of power armor, but when she takes the armor off, she's just wearing a skin-tight bodysuit, and that version is called Zero Suit Samus. Samus is a very attractive individual, and the Zero Suit definitely shows off her body, much to Michael's enjoyment. Michael always played as her when we played Super Smash Bros. Michael often talked about how she was incredibly sexy, and how he just wishes that he could have a girlfriend like her. Good luck, buddy. I want an intergalactic bounty hunter for a girlfriend. That was truly Michael's goal. To have a girlfriend that looked like Samus. He made a Tinder account for that exact purpose. The issue was that he only swiped right on girls who looked like Samus. That is, tall, blonde girls with athletic bodies. These girls, however, obviously were not interested in a neckbeard like Michael. Michael also went to parties to pick up girls. The same issue existed there though. He was only interested in girls who looked like Samus. These girls were certainly not interested in Michael. I'm sure Michael could have gotten a girlfriend, but he was only interested in a very specific faction of very attractive women, so his romantic prospects went unreciprocated. When we played Super Smash Bros., Michael would sit there drooling. I mean, literally drooling, as in with his mouth hanging open and saliva slowly meandering down his Dorito-crusted lips and off his chubby chin. Oh, that's a horrible image. Michael could be very good at Smash Bros. When he actually tried, but he spent as much time gawking at Samus's ass as he did actually playing the game. Naturally, when Smash Ultimate was set to be released in December of that year, Michael was extremely excited. We were all excited, but while the other three of us were excited to play a new and interesting game, Michael was excited to drool over Samus in new and improved high definition. On release day, all four of us went to the mall to get the game, since Michael had it pre-ordered at GameStop. I don't remember anything particularly memorable happening on the trip itself. What I do remember was Michael's car. The inside was full of Monster and Coke cans, empty Dorito bags, and empty fast food containers. This garbage heap was particularly bad on the floor in front of the front passenger seat, which is where I sat. Michael's detritus crunched and crinkled under my feet as I sat there on the way to the mall. I remember trying to push the cans and wrappers out of the way during our drive, and by the time we got to the mall, I'd managed to clear a space of bare floor to put my feet on. Yeah, but at that point, like, your legs are surrounded by trash, aren't they? I'll put my feet on top of the trash. I don't need all that. When we got back, we of course spent the rest of the afternoon playing Smash Ultimate. Nice. In the absence of his beloved Samus, Michael played as Link. Did Michael just have a thing for blondes? We may never know. To Michael's great arousal and my great distress, one of the characters we unlocked later that afternoon was Zero Suit Samus. When the "A new foe has appeared" screen came up, Michael immediately recognized the outline of Zero Suit Samus. He blurted out, "Oh yeah!" which sounded something between an excited outburst and an aroused moan. Michael's wet dream had come true. While Smash Bros. Brawl Zero Suit Samus had always worn a skin-tight bodysuit, in Smash Ultimate they included her casual outfit as an option. This was basically just a sports bra and booty shorts, and this pleased Michael's thirsty fantasies. Reunited with his lady love, Michael happily spent the next 2 hours or so playing as Zero Suit Samus in the casual outfit until we stopped for the day. That night, at about midnight, I left my room to go to the bathroom. As I approached the living room, I could see that the TV was turned on. This was weird, I thought, but it only got worse though. When I got close enough to see around the corner, I could see that the TV had Smash Ultimate on it. It was set to training mode, and Samus was standing there in her casual outfit. As I rounded the corner, I saw him. Michael was on the couch, across from the TV, with his hand down the front of his sweatpants, making an unmistakable up and down motion. Oh, at that point, I was still enough behind him that Michael hadn't seen me, so I just silently backed up and went back to my room. My mind struggled to comprehend what I had just witnessed. Here was this grown man sitting in the living room at midnight, jerking his gherkin to Zero Suit Samus. I knew he was infatuated with her, but good lord. Instead of, going online and looking up Rule 34 of Samus and diddling his doodle in his room like a normal person, Michael had chosen to do it to a video game in the middle of the living room while everyone else was asleep.
Well, let's see. Ooh, Laura, no panties. You know I liked it like that.
I never told anyone what I had witnessed that fateful night. In fact, this is the first I have spoken of it since it happened. The rest of the year thankfully passed relatively uneventfully. Michael spent most of his time in his room, at the engineering building, or playing Smash Bros. While drooling over Samus. He still ate mostly Doritos and fast food, but that was just the standard for Michael. There was nothing out of the ordinary for him there. The following May, Michael and I graduated. He got his degree in electrical engineering and got a job designing the control systems for industrial machines. I never saw Michael after we graduated, but the memory of him will last a lifetime. I can't say that I relate to any of this because when I play Smash Bros. Ultimate, my mains are either heavies or not human. I main like Bowser, K. Rool, and Rob. Sometimes Mega Man if I'm feeling trolly. But I can't help but think that Michael would be so much better at the game. He could be like competition level if he would just play a character that he wasn't constantly drooling over. It's so sad at the end of the day though. He didn't want any other Zero Suit Samus, some random drawing from the internet. He wanted that particular Zero Suit Samus. None other would do. Or else he'd feel like he's cheating. Oh, Michael. I hope you get it figured out one day, buddy. That's just like the saddest story I've ever read. These unrealistic body standard expectations that are set forth by a video game, and he just can't get over it. Maybe he'll get rich, maybe he will find that woman of his dreams, but man, don't ever jerk off to a video game. I'm not gonna kink shame you or anything, but like, Rule 34 exists for a reason, you know what I'm saying? This kind of reminds me of what happened with this one kid in junior high school. I think I was in 8th grade, and I got the Bloodhound Gang Hooray for Boobies CD. It just came out, and that probably shows some of my age, but I showed the CD to my friend Joe, and he's like, "Oh, cool, could I borrow it?" And I'm like, "Sure, dude." And not 20 minutes later, lunch wasn't even over, I got told that Joe was jerking off to that CD in the bathroom. Not even in the stall in the bathroom, like he's standing at the urinal, looking at the CD and making a motion that it's pretty obvious what he's doing. Oh. So did I let him keep the CD? Did I burn it later? Hell no, dude, that was $15. I love that CD. I just tried not to think about what it had seen. But yeah, that was a young kid. This is like a fully grown man. God, that is horrifying. I'm so sorry you had to witness that, OP, but god damn. Thank you so much for sharing. That cracks me up. Maybe the funniest story I read all week. So good. Let's get into another one. I hope it's half as good as this one. Let's check it out. Zombiebeard. I've been a lurker on this sub for a few months, and I feel the need to share my experience with a beard cell that for the remainder of this post shall henceforth be known as Zombiebeard. Note, sorry for any bad paragraph breaks, I am on mobile. Beard cell, a bearded incel. Alright then. Now it's been a few years since I was in contact with Zombiebeard. These interactions occurred between 2011 and early 2014. I met Zombiebeard through the guy that I was dating at the time. That should have been your first sign, OP, birds of a feather. Don't do it. That would have been the breakup moment for me. Due to the extended period of time, here's basically a time-lapse overview of this. Well, I called him a sexist, bigoted, racist, narcissistic asshole to his face on more than one occasion, so let's just go with that. 1. Zombiebeard was obsessed with Rob Zombie, hence the name. When I say obsessed, I mean this guy only wore threadbare band t-shirts. His walls were covered in album art and movie posters, and his apartment was very small. He knew every lyric to every song, every album, and every line from every movie. At the time, Rob Zombie's wife had a clothing line that was advertising the release of these $200 shoes that Zombiebeard desperately wanted, and he was trying to talk various people into getting them for him.
Shut up and take my money!
Ask Santa real nice. 2. Zombiebeard lived off of Social Security and disability because
he had crippling anxiety that made it impossible for him to handle being around others for extended periods of time.
Yet Zombiebeard would still make my ex drive him to the mall to wander around for hours on end. Fucking mall rats, bro. He also got Section 8 housing as well as welfare and food stamps, and he'd just blow his food stamps on Faygo. Yes, he was a juggalo, and also cheap frozen TV dinners and junk food. He'd pig out on his haul, and then he'd cry to his mother, who was also on Social Security and disability, about
how he was hungry.
And if she didn't give him some of her groceries, he'd tell his grandma
how mean his mom was being.
And grandma would shame his mom into giving him food. By the way, he was 30 at this point. God, that's the saddest part of the story. 30, bro? Get it together. 3, he was addicted to porn. He could name off not only porn stars' industry names, but their actual names as well. He'd bring it up in casual conversation like he was discussing the latest Marvel movie. It'd start with talking about directors and lighting and the soundtrack to start, but eventually it would always turn into,
X has such great tits,
and quickly degrade into disgusting remarks about the women. But he'd always play it off, saying,
these actresses deserve as much notoriety as mainstream ones. It's shameful how they get looked down on because of the nature of the film.
I love how he tries to make it seem like high class. He's like, ooh, I'm a porno connoisseur. Gross. 4, he was a racist bigot. His one and only girlfriend cheated on him with a black guy. And according to my ex, it dialed up the racism in this guy from a 5 to a 9. One night, my ex and Zombiebeard were out with a mutual female friend who we'll call Emily. Emily was talking to a random guy at the bar and enjoying the conversation when Zombiebeard came up to her and dragged her off of the bar stool and tried to take her back to the table that they were at. Emily shook him loose and demanded to know what his problem was. And Zombiebeard replied,
he wasn't gonna lose another girlfriend to no fucking...
We don't say that word. Emily slapped him and yelled that not only was she not his girlfriend, she didn't want to be friends with a racist. She left, but ended up talking to him again eventually because my ex remained friends with both of them and she didn't want to make things more awkward. I don't want to be friends with a racist, but I will anyways. What? Zombie guy nice guy'd the hell out of Emily. He'd spend his $200 welfare check on her for her birthday, getting her a surprise hair and nail appointment along with a dozen roses and a giant box of chocolate. Simp! Then he'd rant and moan about how she
ended up dating another mutual friend who was an electrician, and how he was wrong for her because he obviously can't maintain a healthy relationship because he has a kid already.
I remember we were in my car with my ex in the front, Zombiebeard and Emily in the back, and Give Me That Girl by Joe Nichols came on the radio, and Zombiebeard told Emily how
the song reminded him of her.
And she asked me to change the station. Got him. Zombiebeard got super defensive about how
it wasn't in a romantic way, it was just the lyrics fit her personality.
Last I heard, Emily had gotten married and had a kid with someone that she met in AA, so hopefully she was able to cut him out of her life even more. Give me that girl. Yeah, boy. 6. At one point, Zombiebeard began talking to a woman in Alabama who desperately wanted him to move down with her and her daughter and be a family. He thought he'd hit the jackpot of some southern belle who'd cook and clean and, service him whenever. What he got was a legbeard who had catfished him. Apparently, the pictures that she sent were her cousin, who was half her size, and she expected him to
get a job and help around the house and care for her 5-year-old.
She'd berate him about his
lack of hygiene and work ethic.
Though it was highly likely that this was a situation of the pot calling the kettle black. 7. His apartment. The apartment was a large room for the living room / bedroom. I guess the idea was to encourage people to get futons, a kitchen, and a commercial style bathroom. The only lived-in portion of the, again, small space was a recliner and a ratty mattress with balled-up pillows and blankets. That's sad. I was only there once after he had left for Alabama. He asked his mom, who had in turn asked for help due to her disability, to clean out the leftover food and
tidy up a bit.
He, of course, asked a week after he had left. Jesus. The smell of this place was nearly indescribable, but I'll do my best. Trigger warning, here it is. The first thing you smelled was unwashed jockstrap, followed by crusty jizz sock with wafts of rotting food throughout.
Nutty.
The only thing in his fridge was a salad kit he had bought a week and a half earlier when he had forced my ex to cut our hiking trip short
To take him shopping.
The pile of dirty laundry next to the recliner looked like it should have had some demented Jim Henson Muppet reject pop out of it at any second. Down at Fraggle Rock. It stank and had clearly been used as napkins and cleanup rags after enjoying his favorite film genre. The toilet should have been collected as biohazardous waste because that's what it was covered in. Yes, dear friends, Zombiebeard refused to
Waste money.
on toilet paper. Oh God. So he'd just pull up his pants after and continue on with his day. Oh no. Oh, and he hated underwear. So your boy went commando. Jesus. And he can't even be bothered to wash his shit-smeared jeans. The only clean fixtures in the apartment were the kitchen, because he only used the microwave, and the shower because
Who needs soap and water when you have Axe body spray?
oh, Zombiebeard, what a mess you are. 8. As stated before, Zombiebeard was very sexist. I work in the food and hospitality industry, and when he found this out, he nudged my ex and chuckled.
So long as she doesn't neglect the kitchen at home.
Another truly shining moment of his horrific ideals is when he got into an argument with the mother of my ex's child on why
No woman would date him.
and he shot back with,
You aren't the type of woman a guy ever shows off in public. I'm sure you look a lot better on your knees, be it in the bedroom or the kitchen.
my ex then punched him in the jaw and threw him out. 3 months later, Zombiebeard apologized to my ex, not the mother of his kids, my ex, and they started hanging out again. 9. He was also homophobic. His dad came out when Zombiebeard was in middle school and divorced his mom. Zombiebeard got teased mercilessly, and instead of channeling his anger at the bullies, he directed it towards gay men. Lesbians were okay, especially in porn, but homosexual men were called every slur imaginable. He'd even call his dad those things and throw the fact that he
Abandoned him and his brother.
in his dad's face anytime his dad wouldn't do or buy whatever he wanted. 10. He racked up tens of thousands of dollars in debt and got mad at my ex for telling his creditors where he was. Zombiebeard got a partial ride scholarship to the local college for his
Dream job.
but instead of using the money for textbooks, class applications, or anything else that it was intended for, he bought movie tickets, clothes, CDs, and rounds at the bar. What an idiot. Then when time came to sign up for classes, he needed to take out a loan, but he ended up not going to class because no one would be his taxi, and from class he refused to ride the bus with insert racist slur for various non-white groups here. When he had signed the loan, he put my ex down as a person who would know his whereabouts should he try to skip out on repayment without the ex's knowledge, so when the creditors started calling, he was more than happy to give them Zombiebeard's home address. He also took out a Kohl's credit card and maxed it out and refused to pay anything on it. 11. He never learned to drive and expected various friends to be at his beck and call for wherever he needed to go, be it the mall or grocery shopping.
Or just to drive around because he was bored.
Oh, what a scumbag. Are you pitching in for gas? You know he ain't pitching in for gas. And if the first friend didn't, he'd talk shit on them to another mutual friend and stir up drama. He destroyed my ex's friendship with his best friend for 2 years in this way. That's all I can remember for now, and I haven't spoken to Zombiebeard or my ex in many years, and I hope to keep it that way. What an absolute disaster of a human being. I'm sure there's something in his past that explains this behavior, but in the end, it's like you should be able to get over it and realize that you're destroying your life for absolutely no reason. You're not respecting yourself or your things or anybody else or their things. It's like you just have disdain for everything in the world. And so he's probably going to end up alone at the end of the day. I think the whole thing about him talking shit to people in his friend group about other friends points out exactly what kind of person he is. Never hang around with somebody who's talking shit about other people, because guess what? They probably talk shit about you when you're not around. So just leave him alone to rot in his filth. Eventually he'll figure it out or not, you know? And whether he does or he doesn't, he has basically reaped what he sowed. I mean, I'm sorry you had to even associate with this person, OP. Luckily, it was a kind of friend of a friend or friend of a boyfriend, rather, situation, but it's really unfortunate either way. I would not want to be around this person at all. Luckily, it is your ex, and I'm sure he had his own reasons to associate with Zombiebeard, but always remember, birds of a feather. If you meet your significant other's friends, just know that your significant other is probably similar to those people in more than one way. With that said, I would have met this guy once and walked away from my boyfriend immediately. I can't stop you from hanging out with him, but I don't have to hang out with either of you, so bye. Probably the part that makes me more sad than any other, I mean aside from, his age and just not being able to get it together, is the fact that he almost got it together. He was gonna start in college. He got a partial ride scholarship, and then he just threw it out the window. He's like, I'd rather buy some clothes and CDs. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna last longer than a fucking degree. He just has mush for brains. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but he needs some therapy, Everybody needs therapy, but this guy needs it more than your average person. But I gotta admit, I do like some Rob Zombie songs. Rob Zombie's pretty cool though. And I hope that you thought this video was pretty cool though. Hey, segue. And if you did, I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe. That is always appreciated. Maybe share the video around if you should like. That is a huge help. Also check out the links in the description. We've got Patreon, PayPal, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, my other channel, probably some other stuff that I can't remember right now. And of course, I would be remiss not to thank my wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful, generous patrons, Lady Nix, Crimson Albedo, Dot Nathan, Robert Waits, Just Austin, Pope Squid, Rebecca H, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, and Mark 211. Definitely appreciate you guys helping me out to live the dream. If anybody else would like to support monetarily, that is massively appreciated. But if you can't right now, don't sweat it. I just appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you will need to keep yourself safe, wash your hands, and also take some time out to do something that you enjoy today, because you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I will see you in the next one, friends. And until then, bye-bye.